Olá, estás a ouvir o Humor à Primeira Vista, o podcast sobre humor do jornal Expresso. Eu sou o Gustavo Carvalho. Pela primeira vez no Humor à Primeira Vista, entrevistei um comediante americano, é o Todd Barry, já faz stand-up há muitos anos, principalmente no circuito de Nova York. Em 2017 lançou pela Netflix o espetáculo a solo Spicy Honey e como ator participou nas séries Louie e Master of None. Este episódio tem duas versões, a original em inglês e uma traduzida para português. Onde quer que estejas a ouvir, na lista de episódios podes selecionar a versão que preferires. Esta é a versão em inglês e começa agora a minha conversa com o comediante americano Todd Barry.
Humor à primeira vista.
Antes do lançamento deste episódio, o espetáculo do Todd Barry em Portugal, que ia acontecer no dia 24 de maio, no Teatro Vilaré, em Lisboa, foi cancelado. Ainda assim, achei pertinente lançar a conversa com o Todd Barry, visto que há outros temas que foram abordados além do espetáculo que o Todd ia fazer em Portugal. Agora sim começa o episódio com o Todd Barry. So Todd, thank you so much for doing this. The last special you did was released in 2017, the Spicy Honey.
Yeah.
In you can see it in Netflix. So this stadium tour, this hour that you are doing, it will be released also in a platform.
I just filmed it in Chicago about a month ago. So I'm looking, it's being edited right now, and then after it's edited, then we'll try to sell it to some sort of streaming platform, and
nice.
Hopefully you'll be able to see it.
This from 2017 to 2022, obviously a lot of stuff happened. We had some years in lockdown where stand-up comedians couldn't perform. Obviously, this time away from doing an hour made you feel a little bit different when building the show.
Yeah, I mean, I have some jokes about the whole pandemic, like pretty much every comic does, I'm guessing, or most comics do.
Yeah.
But I can't say that I spent like my extra free time just sitting down with writing like a good professional comic should, but. Because I also didn't know when I was going to be able to start up again. I mean, I was able to do some outdoor shows, and people had some rooftop shows and all sorts of weird little shows that were outside for the most part. And so I did some of those.
Would you say you are more enthusiastic about doing, because probably when everything was fine, health-wise, you would do more regularly a new show. You wouldn't have 5 years in between.
Right. I mean, I've always just sort of like added jokes and taken them out, added them out. I don't like, I've never been a comic who like has an hour, throws it out in a year and starts over again, throws that out the next year. Because I think I can't write that fast, honestly.
I remember you said that in the Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Seinfeld. I remember you said, I need to write more, right? I think you were questioning Seinfeld about some joke about orange juice, right?
Yeah.
And I was actually surprised because I would think, I tend to think comedians that are very, they see a lot of things and their observations, they put them in their stand-up. For example, I really like Dimitri Martin, for example. And you have some characteristics that are similar to his stand-up, I would say. I would tend to believe that you would be always seeing stuff and always writing about them.
I mean, I mean, some of it is just my own feeling of like what I wish I was doing, but I know, I mean, I'm more prolific than some comics, but not as much as others. But also my style doesn't lend, I'm not like a ranter.
Yeah.
I'm not someone who can just get a subject and then talk about it for 10 minutes the first time I talk about it. But some people I'm just not a man of many words. So my act is kind of precise. But then, I also, I do crowd work between jokes sometimes.
How many times would you say you test a new bit, a new idea before you decide, no, this one doesn't work?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, usually, sometimes if I really feel like it's a good idea, I'll keep at it. But I mean, a bad habit I get that comics get into, including me, is kind of just not changing anything about it and just trying it night after
Yeah.
night, and it's just like waiting for something, some sort of miracle to happen. But
You believe
yeah,
it's
so
sometimes it's the people don't maybe don't understand the joke.
well, it's also they don't understand it either. Sometimes it's something that I think is funny, but no one else is ever going to think is funny. But it's also, it's about the writing and how you communicate. It's my job to communicate what I think is funny. So it's kind of my fault if I can't get it. But also, I think a lot of it is you have to be willing to just start from scratch and just be like, all right, I can't say these lines the way I said them. I can use this idea, but let's hit it at a different angle, and then that sometimes, because I've had jokes that I've almost given up on, and then I just find something, and then they turn into like some of my favorite jokes. So
people tend to say that your style of comedy is very dry, right? Relaxed. When I watch some Portuguese comedians here that have similar characteristics to yours, I would say they are also very relaxed and maybe quirky. Quirky, it's that
yeah,
the correct term. I don't
that's
know.
a word. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a word. And I noticed that sometimes these Portuguese comedians maybe have a difficult time when performing in. It depends on the place, but if maybe in a comedy club instead of a theater, it's maybe more difficult for the audience to relate or to understand what they are doing. You have been doing this for, I believe, 45 years exactly, right?
34 years.
44? Oh,
34, not 34. 34, not 44.
oh okay.
3-4.
Yeah,
3-4.
Almost 45 then. And have you felt that in the beginning of your career that this style was going to be difficult somehow?
Well, I mean, as I've told people before, I think it's been more of a problem off stage than it has been on stage. Like, I do pretty well. I mean, I've certainly had terrible shows, but it's less of a problem in reality than it is for like some comedy club owner who thinks because I'm not yelling that I'm not going to be good in his club or something. So in reality, for the most part, I mean, I can do really well and just be laid back. And so in that sense, yeah. I mean, and also these, sometimes the things that make you harder to book are the ones that end up being the things people point out about you and say that's interesting. Or I mean, plenty of people like laid back, so I'm good.
I always like to ask the guests if they have any comedian that when they met them, they were so blown away that they didn't know how to react. Any comedian that comes to mind?
Weirdly, we've already mentioned him, but like maybe 25, maybe close to 30 years ago, I was on stage in New York.
Yeah.
And Seinfeld was watching me in the back. He happened to be at the club, and then he walked over to me afterwards and kind of just had a suggestion for one of my jokes.
Oh, really?
But when he walked over, I thought, oh shit, I'm in trouble. I did one of his jokes or something. And he was actually really laughing hard and very, supportive. And
how old were you at that time?
Oh God, I was like 25 something.
And do you still remember the suggestion Seinfeld gave you, or?
I don't. It was it's a joke that I'm embarrassed to even say. So.
Okay.
But
he liked your act.
Yeah, he liked the joke. But something like, "Have you thought of saying this?" Which comics do to each other sometimes. It's not usually Seinfeld though that does it. I don't know if there's anyone who's given me like where I've just freaked out about, but
yeah.
I mean, I met Steve Martin. I did a show that he hosted.
Can you tell me one bit that from other comedian that you wish you had written?
Oh God, wow.
That's difficult, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, probably some bit by Dave Attell.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's got great jokes. So maybe something by him or.
But any specific one? Do you remember?
I mean, there's one he does. I guess I can tell it. It's kind of filthy, but I'll tell you. But it's just he's talking about anal beads, and he said, "What does it feel like when they come out, pulling them out?" And he said, "It's like hearing there is no Santa 8 times in a row." I just thought that was fucking funny. I just thought that was like such a crazy. Like, how did you think of that kind of idea? But
Dave Attell, it's a very known comedian in the New York comedy scene, and he did Bumping Mics with Jeff Ross.
Right.
People can watch on Netflix.
Yeah, he's pretty bebeloved by other comedians and audiences.
I'm not sure if he does a lot of shows around the world.
I don't think he does, actually.
Yeah. After this tour, after this stadium tour that you've been doing in the United States and this some dates in Europe, what are the projects that you've been working on?
Well, I have a movie script, a screenplay that is being shopped around. Okay. So that's something that just started, a process that just started. Hopefully I could get a movie made, but I don't know. That's not an easy thing to do.
We have no idea here in always the circuit of shopping around the script in
I guess Hollywood. There's people who have money, and if you get the producer who there's a lot of people, middlemen, I guess you would call them, which is people we like the script, now we'll try to get money from someone else to make it, and then you try to get actors attached to it. Yeah. Meaning they promise to do it. So there's a lot to do, and it's a lot of luck, I guess, but it's also hard work. So if someone's doing the work for me, then I did the script. I worked on it pretty hard, and not that it's not perfect, but I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's pretty good, and hopefully it'll get made.
Maybe we can see a future movie by Todd Barry in the near future, would you say? Or these things take time, yeah. Right?
These things take time, yeah. I don't think it's not going to be in a year or anything. Like
what are some of your favorite comedians that maybe we in Portugal don't know yet? That you maybe seen in the American comedy scene?
Well, I mentioned Dave Attell. There's Doug Stanhope I really like.
Yeah.
Maria Bamford I really like.
Any new
brand new ones?
Yeah, brand new ones.
There's a woman named Dina Hashem who's really funny.
Dina Hashem?
Dina Hashem, Dina, D-I-N-A.
Oh, Dina. Oh, okay.
Haschem. She's really funny. This guy named Gary Vider is really funny, Vider. Yeah. Do you know him?
I think I saw some stuff of him, probably a video of stand-up in YouTube or TikTok or something like that.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. He's really funny. Oh gosh, anytime someone asks me to name comics, I freeze up and I like to get panic. I have a panic attack. But there's a lot of good comics in New York and LA, and a lot of them I like are pretty well known already. So,
do you usually, when you're in a European country, or do you go and see live comedy, or you just want?
It might be something I do if I was on my own, but I'm traveling with my girlfriend. I don't want to
of course,
drag her to another comedy show when we're in Paris or something, But
okay.
But I would be curious to see some.
We actually are starting to have more English comedy nights in Portugal. I think in Lisbon, probably 2 or 3 a week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. At least 2.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good.
And you're a comic, right?
No.
You're not?
I don't do stand-up, no.
Oh, wow. You're just a fan of comedy?
Yeah. I just like to talk to people about comedy.
That's interesting.
It's a different position to be in. Yeah, I know. Before I let you go, I have a challenge, I would say, a little game. Well, probably I will suffer in this game, so that's nice. And I just want to let you know a few things about comedy in Portugal. And I have some questions. And since the last special you made, it's called Spicy Honey. I will make you these questions. We'll give you options. If you get it correctly, I will hit a spoon of unbranded honey.
Oh, okay.
If you get it wrong, a little spoon of hot spice. You can.
Oh wow!
You're
okay.
Yeah, I'm really committed to this.
All right, I like it, man.
Let's start. The first question I have for you. So, one of these comedians performed in Portugal already. These international comedians.
Okay.
Which one? Daniel Sloss, Sarah Silverman, or Trevor Noah?
I'd say Daniel Sloss.
Why?
Because I know Sarah. She's a good friend of mine, and she never mentioned going to Portugal. Trevor, it could be Trevor, but I'd say it's either Trevor or Daniel, but I feel like I was just in Paris or I was somewhere. I think here in Belgium. I think they said Daniel Sloss had been here recently. So I'm going
Oh,
to say
really?
Daniel Sloss.
And you
I
are
think
right. You
I
are
thought I'd
right.
be right. Yeah, I thought I'd be
So
right on that.
I will hit some honey.
All right. All right.
Thank you for getting it right. But we can move on to the next question while I
Okay.
eat some honey. The next question is, how many comedy clubs there are in Portugal? 0, 1, or 2?
Oh, well, you told me there's only comedy 2 or 3 nights a week.
In English.
So in English. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So 0, 1, or 2. I'm going to say. I'm just guessing 2.
It's actually 1, just 1.
I almost said 1, but I took a chance.
We used to have one comedy club in 2015, I guess, and then they shut it down, and I think 1 year ago it reopened.
Okay.
Fuck. Do you actually eat spicy honey?
Not really. I mean, I think I've had it on. There's a pizza place in New York that some pizza places have this hot honey that they put on the pepperoni pizza.
So why did you decide to call it spicy honey?
I was just in a supermarket or grocery store, and I walked by a barbecue sauce that was spicy honey flavored. And I said, "Oh, that's a good name." And then that was it. I didn't look back.
Let's go to question number 3. This is very difficult, this one. Which one of these is a real Portuguese comedian? João Didelé, and he has 4 stand-up shows. Rodrigo Guedes de Carvalho, very long name, promising young comedian with 1 stand-up show. Or Salvador Martinha, the only Portuguese comedian to have a show on Netflix.
I'm going to say the last one is the only real one.
Salvador Martinha?
Yeah.
The only Portuguese comedian to have a show on Netflix. You're just guessing, or you have a feeling?
So the question was, which one of these is a real comedian?
Is a real Portuguese comedian, yes.
I'm going to say the last one, yes, Salvador.
Yeah. Salvador. Yeah, it's actually Salvador Martinha. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, you got it right. He had a Netflix show, the first Portuguese comedian to have a show on Netflix. It was actually a good few years ago. The first is a famous actor, João Didelé. He's not a stand-up comedian. And the second is a famous news anchor in Portugal, Rodrigo Carvalho.
I got him.
Yeah. So we'll hit the honey. This is much better. So one of these was a really successful comedy concept in Portugal. The 24/7 would be the best translation to this show, a reality show with comedians. Every week they had to perform, they had to do an act, and one was eliminated until the one was left. So Roda Bota Fora, I don't have a translation for this, a stand-up show with 6 comedians and a game of one-liners at the end. Or on tour would be the best translation. Comedians performing in public transportations all over Portugal.
Oh, only one of them's real, huh?
Yeah.
So there's a transportation, there's the 24-hour one. And
yeah,
then
that's a reality show. That's the game of one-liners and comedians performing in public transportations. Which one of these would you think it's real?
I'm going to say the second one, the one-liners one.
Yeah, you got me. I made up the other 2.
All right. You're doing good, man.
I thought you were going to miss this one. But my options weren't that good. I'm happy you are getting it right, though, because I don't have
some good guesses.
Yeah. So last one.
Yeah.
Who is performing in Portugal this year? John Cleese from Monty Python, Anna Gatsby, Jimmy Carr, or all of the above?
I'm going to say all of the above.
That's your final answer?
Yeah, I guess it's wrong, though, huh?
No, it's right.
Oh, wow.
I really thought you were going to miss more, but you got it right. John Cleese is coming to Portugal next month, and it gets in October, and Jimmy Carr, it's, I think, November. And
wow.
Yeah, they're all coming to Portugal, actually. Todd, thank you so much for doing this.
All right, man.
Thank you so much, Todd.
Bye.
Bye.
No, I'll never get really famous. You got to be motivated to get really famous. I'm not motivated. I don't even like motivated people. They bum me out. I heard a guy talking once. He's like, I like to make goals. I was like, all right, calm down. Let's make that your next goal. To bring it on down. He's like, you know what I do once I achieve a goal? I immediately make another goal. Oh, I like that. That sounds like the perfect way to never enjoy your life. It's just one goal after the other, no space between them. That way I walk around disappointed 24/7. By choice. Just moved in a new apartment, hired a professional home organizer. She was tough. She wanted me to throw stuff out. I was like, nice try. That's not organizing. That is throwing stuff out. Huge difference between organizing and throwing stuff out. I would never pay someone $400 to help me throw stuff out. I know what a garbage can looks like.
Segue-nos no Instagram, o podcast em humoraprimeira-vista.podcast. Eu estou no Instagram e no TikTok, com excertos do podcast em Gustavo Carvalho. A apresentação, produção, edição e pós-produção de áudio são feitas por mim, fotografias e vídeo do João Pedro Moraes, jingles do Ruben de Freitas e do Luís Batista, vozes do Tiago Filipe e do Rui Mirama, ilustrações do Nuno Amaral, do gótico do Nuno Amaral e da Vanessa Garcia. Obrigado por ouvires, estou aqui quinzenalmente às quintas. Até um dia.